Have you ever wondered why we act the way we do? Could it be that our past experiences shape our present actions? Just let that sink in for a moment. It's a thought-provoking concept, isn't it? You see, our actions aren't always a reflection of who we are in the present moment. Often they're echoes of our past. Imagine a tapestry, each thread representing a moment, an event, an experience from our history. Over time, these threads interweave, forming patterns that become our reactions, our habits, our fears. Traumatic events, deep-seated anxieties, concerns about the future, or even the pain from our past can determine how we respond in different situations. We might respond with aggression, not because we are innately aggressive, but because it's the pattern we've learned. It's the way we were taught to deal with our problems. It's a conditioned response, a pattern born out of fear. It seems our history plays a significant role in shaping our present. But what if there's more to it? We are all familiar with the concept of a victim, but have you ever heard of the victim within the victim? Imagine a Russian doll, each layer revealing a smaller doll within. The outermost shell is what we present to the world, our actions, our words, our visible responses. But what of the innermost doll, the one hidden deep within? This is our victim within the victim, the part of us that is shaped by past experiences, fears, and traumas. Consider those among us who may seem overly aggressive. Their aggression, their outermost doll, is often not a reflection of their true nature, but rather a defense mechanism, a learned response to deal with their problems. Let's delve into the story of Jake, a typical example. Raised in a volatile household, Jake learned early on that the loudest voice was the one that got heard. He understood that to be relevant, to be seen, he had to be aggressive, unyielding, and tough. The world, to him, was a battlefield, and he was geared for war. But beneath this hardened exterior was a different story. Jake was a victim within a victim. The aggression was a mask for the fear within him. The fear of not being good enough, the fear of being overlooked, the fear of losing his relevance. Jake was not aggressive because he wanted to be, but because he believed he had to be. And it's not just Jake. Many of us harbor our own internal victims. We act out, not because we are inherently bad or aggressive, but because we are driven by fears embedded deep within us. Fears that we may not even be conscious of. Fears that make us react in ways that may not reflect who we truly are. This internal victim, this fear within, is what drives many of us to act out. But there is a way out. The first step is recognizing that there is a victim within us. The next is understanding that this victim does not define us. We are not bound by our past experiences or fears. We have the power to choose a new direction, to redefine our behavior, to break free from the cycle. And the most beautiful part? We are as worthy as anyone to experience the life we choose. This internal victim, this fear within, is what drives many of us to act out. But there is a way out. What if you could break free from the chains of your past? What if you could chart a new course for your life? Imagine a world where you are not bound by the limitations of your past experiences, where the ghost of past traumas doesn't get to dictate your present actions. This is not just a hypothetical scenario, it's a real possibility. But to get there, we need to break the cycle, to change the narrative that has been ingrained in us. Breaking the cycle may sound like a Herculean task, and to be honest, it is. It requires courage, commitment, and most importantly, a deep-seated belief in oneself. It's about acknowledging that we are not just the product of our past experiences, but also the creators of our future. But how do we break this cycle? It begins with self-validation. We need to understand that our worth is not up for debate. It's not something that can be diminished by others' opinions or past failures. Our worth is inherent, unchangeable, and unequivocal. It's also about understanding that we are as worthy as anyone else to experience the life we choose. We are not lesser beings due to our past experiences or current circumstances. We are deserving of happiness, success, and all the good things life has to offer. We must also rise above the fear that keeps us stuck in old patterns. Fear can be a powerful motivator, but it can also be a crippling constraint. It's up to us to decide whether we let fear drive us or hold us back. Remember, We have the power to shape our own narratives. We can choose to carry forward the cycles of the past, or we can choose to forge a new path. Breaking the cycle is not an easy feat, but with determination, self-love, and a strong will, it is possible. Remember, you are the author of your life story. Make it a tale worth telling.